Hello, all you wonderful Rise of Kingdoms players out there. This is Dragothien here, and today we're going to do the Mastery Series guide for Chadragupta Maurya. So, this is one of the newest commanders out. Obviously, Chadragupta and William are the two newest out in the earlier kingdoms. A little bit of misconceptions whenever people first saw him, thought he was going to be a master rallier. We're going to go through a little bit of those things really quickly. I do have some battle report knowledge on this commander. I think he's really, really good. I think if you had to pick one of the two of the pairing that came out, William is going to be my pick to max out if you have to only max out one. But Chadragupta is very, very good too. I'm going to go through his skills really quickly. I'm going to tell you how you can level him up as far as what you need to do to level him up through his skills. And then I'm going to go through a little bit of his gear. And then also I am going to direct you to my Discord for his talent builds. They're all sitting there waiting for you, and I'm going to give you the methodology behind why I chose those builds as well. So let's go ahead and get kicked off really, really quickly. Chadragupta, what's he for? After using him in Kingsland and KBK top tier fighting, really, he is an open field guy. Just like William, Chadragupta is made for the open field. He does have the conquering talent path, which leads me to believe that they want you to use him as a rally commander. However, in real-world combat, he just gets swarmed down. See Edward, see Genghis, see even Saladin. If it's not Attila Takeda, it can get swarmed down, guys. And even to a certain degree, any infantry-style rally. Charles Richard or Alex Richard, a little bit better than the other nuking-based commanders from a swarmable standpoint, but still, Chadragupta, you are going to get swarmed down with a quickness if you send this. Now, if you have a clean field, if you have a clean open field around what you're rallying, he looks to be really, really good. But again, that's like the golden unicorn of circumstances, and at that point, really, any rally would work, not just Chadragupta. So, nothing really special when it comes to rallies. He, however, is very, very nice on the open field. Let's go through the skills really quick, and I'll show you why. So first one, the damage of all troops under his command is increased by 40%. That's all damage dealt, guys. All damage for 40% for 3 seconds. To me, this skill means he has to be a primary commander. Chadragupta has to be your primary because of this skill right off the bat. At the same time, you gain 1 stack of Blessed, increasing Cav units attack by 15% per stack for 10 seconds. Blessed can stack up to 3 times. When you expertise him, it goes to 4 times, which is nice. I'll talk about this mechanic later because this is very key to his benefit on the open field, and it's a little bit wonky. So, second skill, Royal Elephant Brigade. When attacking a stronghold, troops led by this commander take 10% reduced damage. That's nice, but really the key to this skill for open field is going to be when Hidden Moon is used, troops gain a stack of Blessed. So there you go. At the same time, they gain a stack of Blessed. When Hidden Moon is used, you gain a stack of Blessed. All right, so you got to figure that stuff out. Third skill, Arthashastra. Okay, you'll see this quite often on the battle report. When all this commander's troops are cav, which they should be, health is increased by 20%. That's huge. And each attack has a 50% chance to add a stack of exhaust, reducing the target's health by 5% and their defense by 5%. This stacks 3 times. So you can make your target negative 15% health, negative 15% defense. This does work as intended. It does work very, very well. Whenever you're going through the battle reports, you see this firing off all the time. You get to negative 15% very quickly against a target, and you already have a 20% bonus. That's a 35% health delta between your target and yourself. That's very nice to have. This works as intended. Fourth skill, self-control. You'll see this fire off a lot in the battle report too. Damage taken from cavalry is reduced by 5%. That's nice. Not really a game changer or something that like makes this amazing, but it's still good. After using an active skill, this is where things start to get a little crazy. All troops' march speed is increased by 25% for 3 seconds. That's good. Again, open field mechanic there. And then meanwhile, all stacks of Blessed are removed. Now, when they're removed, damage is dealt to the target based on the number of stacks removed. So, we just saw that you can have a maximum of 3 stacks if you're not expertised. And once we get to the expertise, you'll see that you can have a maximum of 4. So they multiply the number of stacks by 500, and that's your damage factor. That's your nuke, people, okay? So your first firing of Chadragupta will be very light when it comes to the skill damage because you're not building, you haven't really built anything yet because of the expertise. But once you've fired off that first skill, the skill damage will start pouring out. So you have a 5% damage reduction from Cav. You have a 25% march speed bonus when you use a skill. Very nice. And again, 500 without expertise turns into 1500 if you have 3 stacks. That's very important to think about. And then if you have an expertise, it's 2000 damage factor if you have the 4th stack applied. Now here comes the expertise. The expertise is key. The expertise really makes it to where Chadragupta needs to be expertise to use him effectively on the battlefield. Think Genghis. Can you use him without an expertise? Yes, you can. But are you best using him the way he's supposed to be used? No, you're not. Until he is expertised, you're not using him to the biggest effect. The expertise, new skill, Maurya's Might. You'll see this all the time on the battle report as well. This is how it's labeled. The blessing effect can stack up to 4 times, so that's nice. That's an extra stack, an extra 500 damage, etc., and also an extra 15% attack for Cav. While in Alliance territory, each attack has a 50% chance to gain 1 stack of Blessed. Outside of Alliance territory, each attack has a 50% chance to gain 2 stacks of Blessed. This effect can only trigger once every 5 seconds. We just did a William Mastery Guide where a lot of his things are based on being outside of Alliance territory. This makes sense to marry these two guys together. These guys will be hand in hand when it comes to the pairing rankers that I'm going to put out for both of these commanders very soon. However, as nice as this looks on paper, it's not accurate. This thing doesn't fire enough. 50% chance, you should be max stacks within, I'd say 5. I'd say 5 turns, you should be max stacks. This doesn't fire enough. At 10 turns, half the time, I only have 2 stacks total. So this, while it does work as far as the mechanic itself, the percent chance is not firing enough for it to be 50%. There's just no way. Every turn, it looks like it's either going yes or no. It's not building up throughout the probabilities aren't building up throughout the turns. It's not working the way it's supposed to. And more often than not, 8 out of 10 times, it's saying no stack. So really, this is the biggest problem with Chadragupta right now. They need to fix the percent chance of stacking a blessing, because right now, there's times where I go through an entire series of skill damage, and I'm not max stacks. And if I have an expertise Chadragupta, I should be max stacks every single time, and I'm not. And again, honestly, the more I've seen these battle reports, more often than not, I've got 1, 2, and at best 3 stacks of blessings. What's the point of having an expertise Chadragupta giving you 4-time blessing stacks when you can't even get there 95% of the time? So that needs to be fixed, and hopefully they are going to be fixing that soon. I have reported it to the folks who go through that stuff, but as of right now, as of August 30th, 2020, this is not working the way it's supposed to. The mechanic works, but the percent chance does not work, okay? So let's talk about the gear really quick. I have kind of a mid-level tier gear right here. We've got the Abyssal Helm, the Cloud Racers, the Gladiator set, the Milanese Plate. We've got the Iced Sufferance here as well. And I do have the Axe, the Blazing Axe. Honestly, with the amount of health he has on his skills, this is kind of a good mid-tier set. You want to go a little more damage because he's got some decent health and defense already, and he's a debuffer. Now, because of the mechanic, I'm going to show you the talent build I have on Maurya currently, but I've also got multiple different talent builds on my Discord. The link is in the description below. Go and check it out. Because of the fact that the blessings just don't stack enough, I had to reduce my rage regen to get the blessings as much as possible. If you go full skill tree on Chadragupta, you're going to get 1 or 2 blessings at best. The way the mechanic currently works, you will never get to 4 stacks. It just doesn't work the way it's supposed to. So I had to go full cav on this, and that took away Feral Nature, which fires off 100 rage, 10% chance. That goes away. However, that does give me a very nice starting position from a rallying cry standpoint. It does give me the disarm capability, which reduces the enemy attack by 20%, which is nice. Also, again, it gives me all the march speed bonuses and things like that, and of course, Emblazoned Shield, which you must have. Now, I still have Rejuvenate, I still have Clarity. Now, I could forego Rejuvenate the way it's currently set and reduce my rage even further to make sure I get to those stacks. But honestly, if I do that, I'm really just shooting myself in the foot, because if you're taking away your rage regen, you're taking away your Feral Nature already, and you take away Rejuvenate, even if you're going to get to those max stacks, it still takes 8, 10, 12 turns to get to those max stacks. And once you get to the max stacks, you're firing off your skill and they're wiping out anyway. So I think there's a break-even point there where right now, because of the way it's not firing the way it's supposed to, in my opinion, this is the build to go with right now. Now, once they fix, hopefully, the proccing chance of the blessings from Maurya's Might on the expertise, then you can start maybe going back over and getting full skill, which, again, I will have this build on my Discord as well. You can even go into Buckler Shield here and into Moment of Triumph over here at the very end of the first right side of the Conquering Tree and forego some of this stuff if you want to. It's not a bad idea. It takes 7 points to get here and another 3 here and vice versa. 7 points to get to Moment of Triumph and another 3 to get to Buckler Shield. So you can throw some in there. I'll give you some builds for that too. But this is the build that I think is the best one right now based off of the firing chances and things like that. Now, how do you use him as far as skills go? Can you use him at 5-1-1-1? Can you use him at 5-5-1-1-1? Blah, 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 right? No, you have to expertise him. I just went over it before. He's like Genghis. Can you use him after you've gotten him 5-5-1-1? Sure, you can. He's just not going to work the way he's supposed to if you don't have him maxed out. You need to expertise him if you're going to use him. Again, if I had my choice and I only had one to do, whether it's Chadragupta or William, I would choose William. I would choose William over Chadragupta just because there's nothing really super special from a utility standpoint from Chadragupta except for the Arthashastra debuff here. The 15% health and defense reduction is fairly substantial, and it lasts 5 seconds each stack, so you can continue to basically keep a target debuffed the entire time. Okay, so that's the way I would use him, as a heavy nuker, as a debuffer. And once they fix his stacks, he can really be an offensive powerhouse. Pair him up with Genghis, pair him up with Double C, pair him up with Saladin. You can pair him up with Attila and Takeda if you want to, although I've not seen great results because, again, those are not nuking commanders. Those are normal and counterattack based damage commanders, which, again, Chandragupta buffs all damage, and the skill damage numbers are just bigger, right? Skill damage number is a lot bigger than normal and counterattack numbers generally. Now, if you have Attila and Takeda and you could have this buff, then we can start talking. But because you can't have both at the same time and Chandragupta, then yeah, just use him with nukers. You want to use him with nukers. Some outside the box thinkings, and again, I'm getting into the pairing video, but I want to give you guys a little bit of detail. Alex is actually not a bad second to Chadragupta. I've seen some very good numbers from him. And again, just using with Minna even, Double C, YSG is also a great pairing. Saladin, Genghis. But again, you want to have Chandragupta primary on all of these. And of course, William is a great combo for Chandragupta as well. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope it's been informative. I will be giving you more breakdowns of the battle logs themselves, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about through this video, but the general idea should be there for you guys to understand what he's for, and should you max him versus William. So I hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one. Take care.